Hello and welcome to Fletch and Sav. The best bits today as Bournemouth welcomed Newcastle to a rainy Vitality Stadium.
I've been looking forward to this show all week, Fletch. Well, since Tuesday. Well, I was in Seville for the City game and I'm lying in my bed, done all my research, done all my notes. It was about 3 o'clock and I was just dropping off, you know, when you're a bit tired in the afternoon. And my phone started going berserk. I thought, what's going on here? About 2,000 mentions. Obviously, showed the press conference of John Terry, you know, basically, you know, having a go at me, which is his opinion is fine. I don't mind that. It's a game of opinions. But that's how I found out was a bag of nerves. I thought, what's happened here? Do you know what I mean? What's happened?
So why the response that you've given? You waited till this morning. I think a lot of people were expecting you to have a go back on social media or say something before now. But you've given yourself a bit of thinking time and you decided to use your column this morning to answer back. Well,
I think it's about a bigger picture. You know, it's about the people who play football from grassroots level, the amateurs, the semi-professionals, the milkman, the plumber, people who phone 606, people who tweet into this show. It's about a game of opinions. I think personally, everybody is allowed one. Whether you've won the World Cup, whether you've never kicked the ball in your life, if you're the journalists travel around the world, stay up late, writing reports. They're entitled to as opinion as anybody else. So I think I expressed an opinion. I think my opinion was after the game at Man City about John, where I said, listen, I don't think he'll play every week. Age catches up with us all. He's a magnificent player. He's got 107 Champions League appearances to his name, joint most with David Beckham. He's a legend at Chelsea, always will be, and he's a fantastic Premier League defender. But I just expressed my opinion. I think I'm entitled to it, like everybody in the world is.
I've been where John is now, where people are starting to doubt you a little bit. People are saying that you're not as, your powers aren't as strong as they were, and you do have to start looking inside. And my reaction was to win trophies, to try and win games and win trophies, to stop people talking like that. I'd done it in my last year at Manchester United. I wasn't able to do it when I was at QPR. So, but coming out and talking, I just thought it'd put me on the back foot a little bit. It'll be I could get a negative response from it, or I'd think to myself, the best way, it'd look petty for me to come out and talk and to pick people out. I used to think, as long as I win a trophy or I play well for a consistent amount of time, I can shut people up. And sometimes, to be honest, there were reporters that spoke about me, but I'd go and nail them personally. I'd see them in the mix zone and I'd go and say, listen, I don't mind you writing about me, but don't make it personal. And that's when I thought there was a line in the sand there. If you make it personal, then I'm well within my rights to go up to you personally and dig you out.
This is the day for those individuals to prove a point, isn't it, if he's not there? If that is the case.
Yeah, I don't go along with that, though. I just think it's the players will play for themselves first and foremost. I think they'll go out there to put on a performance, to enhance their reputations, etc. But him not being there, yeah, definitely. I think I agree with Rob. I think that was something with Sir Alex Ferguson. He was always there. He never took training, really. He coached a session, really, done a five-a-side or a shape. Or he'd dip in it here and there, but he was always there. He was always there because I do believe that the intensity with some players who weren't the consummate pros, maybe they would take their foot off the pedal slightly.
How hard does it make it then when you start to feel that criticism and start to hear it when you have been relatively untouchable because of your performances for such a long period of time? Is it a real shock to the system?
I think it's a huge shock to the system, but I think the biggest thing is being able to see it, start to understand it, accept it, and then try and make it right. And I think we got beat at United 6-1 by City, and Ferguson come out and said that he thinks my powers are on the wane and I'm not the same player and blah, blah. And at the time, it was crushing. I thought my manager's like more or less lost belief in me totally, and then I had to sit down, especially with my management team, when we spoke a lot about stuff. A couple of them played football, so we had a common ground there, and I had to build myself back almost inside and say, right, I'm going to show him, and that was my stimulant. I'm going to show him. But the problem then is when your manager says that, something like that, it gives everybody else the ability to go on the back of that and ride that wave in the media and hammer you as well. So I'd use all that as fuel when I'm training, when I'm working out, etc. I'll be using them, the negative comments, as my fuel to get back out there and make it right.
Why do teams not play 4-4-2 anymore, Glenn?
Well, I think because of the what I call the Spanish system came in. To stop fullbacks coming, the Spanish played, I think, way back from Cruyff. Cruyff did it at Barcelona. And I think it's took us a long time, with obviously the influx of foreign managers coming in. A lot of people want to play that three in midfield, and they want to stop the fullbacks coming, so they played wide wingers, and they played the one up front. So I think that was the reason why. There was a lot of I think United had to change a little bit in Europe.
Yeah,
we couldn't do the 4-4-2.
No,
that game against AC Milan that really highlighted, wasn't it? When you played against them and you got swamped in midfield. Was it AC Milan? I think it was.
Yeah, but I just think we used to just fall short for a number of years, and it was a lot to do with being outnumbered in the middle of the park. And I think in the Champions League, especially international football, you've got to try and control the games, or be in a position that when you do get the ball that you can spring. And I think with having the three in midfield and maybe having one loose to be able to go on attack when you do go forward really enables you to do that.
Just before Rio goes,
yes,
your birthday present for
Happy
you.
birthday,
Go with it quick, There's a Robbie birthday, Rio. Open
the present quick, mate. Have a look.
Open the book.
Yeah, have a look. But I've got to be quick. Got to break.
Not many left.
There you go, Rio.
There you go.
It's a sleeping tablet.
First contract I ever signed at Nottingham Forest was a blank contract. The manager said to me, "Sign that." I had 5 minutes to think about it. I walked out the room, came back in. I had no agent, no telephone, couldn't ring anybody, and I just signed the contract. I went in the next morning to pick up the contract in a brown envelope off the secretary, and I could feel some keys jangling in the bottom of the envelope. On the bottom of the contract it was written in handwriting, Elizabeth's car. Now, Elizabeth, his daughter, was trying to get rid of a car at the time, and there it was, a brand new XR3i convertible.
But what people don't realise, Eddie was an outstanding player. And people go, well, who did he play for? He was a lad who played at Bournemouth but should have played in the Premier League. No danger, he was a Premier League player. He was my first signing when I went to Portsmouth. I came and took Eddie Howe and a boy called Richard Hughes from here. Richard's now back here working with Eddie as a technical director or whatever. But Eddie was an outstanding player, played at the back, read the game, never flustered, always in the right position. Absolute top class. For me, he'd have been outstanding.
Did you ever see him as a manager?
He was a very quiet boy. He was a very quiet lad, you know. But the way he read the game and his understanding of football, Rob, you know. But when they talked to Eddie says, "No, I could never see myself doing it," you know. But he's a smashing lad.
They've got better players on the pitch. They've got more of a balance in the team. They've now got young Dummett playing left back, who's a balance on the left-hand side. They've got players who look to get in the box. Wijnaldum's playing in midfield. He's scoring goals from midfield. Last season, I never had anybody getting in the box and scoring goals from midfield. So they've got a centre forward who can hold the ball up. Balls are going into his feet, into his chest. He's decent in the air. Yeah, he's a live wire. He's got to be able to control that. But there's ingredients that they've added to the team that I see an improvement in what we had at the end of last season.
That's all for Fletch and Sav this week. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Keep tweeting into @Fletcher Sav in the week, and we'll see you next Saturday from 10 a.m. for an international special. So don't miss that one.
He promises not to fall out with any former England captains between now and then.